Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Okay, here's the thing. I can be a dick, but I'm never cruel, right? Like there's lines that I just wouldn't cross, even when I'm talking about certain characters. I'm generally trying to understand what in the hell. What was this? Was this network on the Home and Heart Network with that peerless of a woman and that guy who has the most punchable face that I've seen since Colin on Days of Our Lives. They are planning, and I can't even. I'm almost uncomfortable even saying this. They want to sit there and try to get Sasha to have another breakdown. I don't even know where to begin on what's wrong with that. I mean, that whole sentence just sound. It made me feel uncomfortable just saying. And they sat there like I don't even want to call them DC villains, but they just sat there like smiling and smirking and being like, like this is a really good idea for ratings and stuff like that and views. And I'm like, wait, what? So Brooklyn's back because, Tracy pretty much told her to, and eventually Lucy comes in there. And, what was this woman's name? Some woman, I guess she was, in the first, during their first one, the first showcase or whatever. One second. The first showcase. Lorna? Low? It's on 1.5. So she sees Sasha the first time and she's like, what's going on? Like, what are you doing here? Yada, yada, yada. This is where it just gets even stupider, right? This is where it just gets so dumb. I don't know. Writing is very questionable. So they plan on trying to get Sasha to have a breakdown, right? So they decide to like tweet out or put out in their forum about how, if you want to sit there and see a breakdown tonight or whatever, or this woman breakdown, stay tuned because, they were talking about how the ratings are so crazy because anything can happen. And so they put it out on social media. Looking at this whole thing, I'm like, you know, as crazy as stuff can be viral and stuff like that, there's certain things that most people have a line that they just don't cross. And I just don't understand how what they're doing, or even just putting it out there. Because one, so now what you just thought that Sasha was just not going to check her phone at some point? Like, no one in her team was going to just be like, oh, I'm taking a phone break. I'm just not going to sit there and use my phone. And see that and be like, what are you doing? But on top of that, I feel like they would probably lose in the real world. They would lose so many sponsors. Like it would turn against them so fast. Because again, yeah, people can be bad and terrible, and I can be a dick at times, but I'm never cruel on that level. And I just don't understand how you can sit there and be like, I don't understand how that can not backfire on them. And the fact that they put it out there is like, okay, we're going to sit there and try to trigger something, but we're going to put it out towards the world and just what? Hope that you wouldn't see it? So Brooklyn sees it, and, Lucy's like, let's just leave. Sasha's like, no, let's stay. Because she's betting against me, I'm going to sit there and prove her wrong. Now, on one hand, I think that that's a very brave thing to do. To sit there and defy the odds, to not run away, to not cower, right? Now, as much as I like to sit there and think I'm like the man of steel, sadly, I have to sit there and say I do know my limits. And at that point, if you know that there's something trying to trigger something like that, maybe it's just best to walk away. but it just gets worse. When they start doing their show, you got this POS woman, Haven, that keeps talking about baby stuff to try to trigger a reaction, right? But you got Sasha and this other woman that name starts with an F or something. This is kind of going, business as usual. All right, cool. They had something in her earpiece where they start playing a baby crying and everything. And I'm like, wow, this is just uncomfortable. Like this is just straight up uncomfortable. I haven't felt that way about watching something since Thursday. I'm not gonna sit there and say what it is, but if you've been in my streams, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I was like, this isn't just bad. This is just uncomfortable to watch. I don't know where they were going with this in the show, the writing or whatever, but this might be too far. This is definitely a little bit too far. I'm not even gonna sit there and say it might it just definitely for me personally, it just definitely is too far. Um so you got that whole thing going on, right? You got Dex and they're telling Josh that he has to leave. That Michael decided to not give away the evidence and Jocelyn being all pissy and everything because, she's gonna lose her man and Sonny is a bad person and blah 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 blah. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't feel bad for Dex for a couple of reasons. As much as I like Dex, I don't feel bad for him. You are working for a guy who wants to sit there and turn in his dad. You don't think at some point he's going to have, I don't know, second thoughts? Like he's going to be like, you know what, maybe this is kind of a bad idea because, family and Vin Diesel family, like, Jocelyn being all upset. I was like, boy. So, Dex is like, I'm going to go on a run. Jocelyn's like, I'm going to go with you. Dex tells her just how stupid that is. And then towards the end, it doesn't really mean anything because Jocelyn asks Dex to stay, and Dex says yes. Because let's be honest, this dude is not going anywhere because he's on contract. That's the thing about this. That's the whole thing about this whole scene about him telling her to, he's going to leave. Like, okay, cool, we're gonna go. Hmm? You gonna be calling for a couple of days because you do have a contract to fulfill. So I mean, your character snitch is saying you're gonna go somewhere, but let's be honest, And I think again, when I first started watching the show, well, I had the internet and everything. I didn't know about this stuff. Okay, so this is like early back in the year 2000, 2000 whatever. If he would have been like, I'm going, it's like, oh man, maybe he's gonna leave. I know what's going on happening. And of course, the way they wrap it up in like one whole episode, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go. No, I'm gonna stay. So glad we had that conversation. So yeah, he decides to stay. Michael decides to, hash it out with Sonny and his angry, somewhat ungrateful ass, the way he's coming as Sonny. I'm doing this for the family. I'm doing this for Willow. I'm pragmatic. Okay, Michael, whatever. I know some people could sit there and say, and I was thinking about this myself, that he's trying. Okay? He's trying. But at this point, I just, I don't care because it's stupid. Okay? Point blank period. It's just dumb. It's asinine, whatever analogies you want to sit there and use. It's just stupid. So, Sonny talks about, well, what about Nina? You know what, Sonny? Why don't you just sit there and just take the W and just, you can just table that conversation for tomorrow. But they meet halfway, so that's cool. Gladys is having a bad night. I couldn't be any happier. I couldn't be any happier. It's almost like all the negative thoughts I was wishing on that woman, Haven, things that I just can't say because of YouTube guidelines. But I was just so happy seeing the disappointed look on her face and just having Cody Bells just rubbing it in. Listen, I know there's a lot of people that don't like Cody for X and Y reasons, but come on. We all gotta sit there and rejoice and glad it's misery. We do. Even if it's done by Cody Bell himself. We gotta sit there and enjoy it. But of course, well first she comes in there and she's talking to Scotty because Scotty's sitting there drinking because Liesel and her feelings and her BS and whatever. And Gladys comes in there and Gladys is, talking out loud like she wants Scotty to reply. Scotty just turns his ass around like, yeah. So of course Gladys is like, oh, that's rude. No, that's not rude. That's called smart. Okay, even Scotty knows to sit there and not want to deal with any of your shenanigans. Okay. Oh no, it's not done because after Cody gets done with her, Miss Wu comes out. And Miss Wu's like, yeah, you had a couple of bad hands. Fate wasn't on your side. So I'm gonna need that money like 5 minutes ago. So how you want to do? You want to do Cash App? You want to do Venmo? What do you want to do? And of course, Gladys is like, I don't have to take money, but Sasha does. That's what Miss Wu says. They go back and forth, and Miss Wu's like, listen, here's the thing. You're not leaving this place until we settle up. Okay? Then she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I have another way you can sit there and pay off your debt. Kind of looking forward to that because I'm just like, listen, if you thought what she had to sit there and do before is somehow try to get money from Sasha, how hard I was going to sit there and be for her, I can only imagine what else Miss Wu has in store for her. Okay, so here's stuff, and I've said this before, I think. Maybe I have, or I just noticed it. The way that Miss Wu always kind of walks off whenever she's done with somebody, it's like it's like this. I still got it going on. She does, but I just always, it's one of those things. Like when I saw her walk off like that today, I was just like she does this walk where it's like I still got it going on, and I'm just loving it. And I had to sit there and say that. I had to sit there and bring that up. What else we got? Man, you got a lot in this episode. You got Mac and Felicia that's just in there, that's just talking to, I don't know, make the time go faster or make the time go by. They don't really contribute anything to this episode. Well, that's not true. They have Scotty comes in and kind of rehash what happened before. So I guess that's cool or whatever. About the stuff that happened before. Sometimes I really hate when they have so many people in this in one episode because I always feel like I'm gonna like forget somebody. Um, I talked about the Josh stuff, the Michael stuff, the Brooklyn stuff. I feel like I'm missing something. I know I forgot something. Drew and Nina. Probably gonna. Oh, there's other stuff else. Drew and Nina. So Nina's feeling guilty. She thanks Drew for giving her daughter a fighting chance. She's feeling kind of guilty, so she starts asking about how's things going with the SEC and Drew's like, yeah, I mean, it's not fun, but I don't want to get into it with you because, well, you're you. So then at some point, they start talking about Willow and what Willow asked for her to do. She's like, I don't know if I'm able to do that. How could I sit there and make that possible? And, at first, Drew was like, you can't. And then I'm like, well, what do you mean you can't? I mean, if you're still breathing, you can sit there and try to find some sort of way to coexist and be somewhat peaceful. Um, and yeah, I do agree with somebody. Willow should have probably told that same information to Carly. Even though, with Nina's concerned, Carly does live in Nina's head rent free, but whatever. Drew's like, listen, you gotta sit there and acknowledge what you did. And of course, Drew did also say that, listen, the reason why you don't have a relationship with your daughter is because you treated her like dirt from day one, from jump. That's something that we can all sit there and agree to. I don't care if you're an Nana fan or not. You got to sit there and understand. You got to at least acknowledge that. Um, Drew's like, listen, you need to sit there and kind of own up to what you did, your mistakes and everything, and maybe see some light at the end of the tunnel or something. I don't know. But it's Nina, so I guess we'll just sit there and wait and be surprised. Because my expectation of this character is somewhat kind of low. Like really low. Like not hell low, but low. So, Scotty is not there talking to Cody. Cody wants Scotty to represent him. And at first he says no. But then after talking to Felicia and Mac about the necklace and everything, he goes back to Cody's like, yeah, I can represent you. Because he knows that Leopold Tao, whatever his name is, he knows that he can get some money from the lawsuit. So he tells Cody about the lawsuit, like, yo, let's sue the WSB because your jewelry's lost or whatever, and you and Serena, you're owed that. So he's like, all right, I'll do it. The thing is, Scotty's like, listen, you're gonna have to sign your name on the affidavit saying that you're legally his son. That's the only way you're gonna be able to get um that that money, right? And Cody's like, oh, is there another way I could sit there and go about? What do you mean? Is there another way you can go about it, bro? You could have told Mac that a long time ago. You pretty much kind of ended that whole thing. So like, what's the problem? Well, you feeling guilty? You grew a conscience? You grew more of a conscience on that front? He does rush in to try to you know I don't know. I don't want to sit there and say even protect Sasha, but be there for Sasha because like a bunch of idiots, the home whatever network that they're working for, the home shopping channel, okay, put out that press release, and when Cody heard, he rushed down there or whatever to make sure Sasha was okay. Man, sometimes I still don't get the hate when it comes towards Cody, but well, not the hate, but I shouldn't sit there and say hate. The dislike, the amount of dislike. I hate saying that word, the hate, because even sometimes in my live stream, people sit there and say, "Well, I don't understand why people are hating on Nina so much." I'm like, that's not hate. That's just criticism, and it's not out of a vacuum. Those are just valid statements that people have against Nina. When it comes towards Cody, I just don't see it. I don't understand why people just have this much of an issue with Cody. And granted, you can dislike the character all night long. I just don't personally see it. I don't see it as clear as day. Like at least with Nina, I can understand why people just do not like her. She has things about her that is just not even personality flaws. Those are just things that she just. I don't even want to get back into Nina again. They're damn sure more than personality flaws. Oh, Valentine and Anna. They're just being a cutesy couple or whatever. Um, so they're hanging out after Anna thought that she had an intruder. They're talking, dinner, wine, and like all up in each other's faces, right? Then Robbie comes over to scold Anna because apparently he has nothing else better to do. Like not sit there and try to decide on who he should be with, Holly or Diane. No, 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 no. All that stuff can sit there and wait. Now he got to go over Anna's place and scold her, a grown ass woman, about the fact that she saved Valentine's life. You know, like he's her father or something. I guess there's supposed to be some sort of level of comedy in there or something. I don't know. I'm missing the joke because that has to be a joke, right? Because I'm pretty sure Diane was like, "Listen, I know exactly what I'm worth. You decide on who you want to be with." But no, that's not what he's going to do. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't really think of anything else that happened. I'm pretty sure something else did want to happen because they had so many people in this episode, like they always do. Um, I haven't done that lately. Like I felt like today was just like they had to sit there and try to pack as many people in this episode as possible, no matter how useless or somewhat useless they were, because contract and stuff. Anyway, like always, if I did forget anything, come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'll be sitting there talking about Y&R, Days, B&B, GH. I think that's pretty much about it. I'll be live streaming for an hour because as you know, tomorrow is what I consider Hell Day. But yeah. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.